No one expected China to be the gateway for one of Formula One's most iconic comebacks, but that's exactly what's happening. As talks heat up behind the scenes, Geely, the automotive titan behind Volvo, Polestar and Lotus, is making a powerful push to join the F1 grid as the long-awaited 12th team. And this is not just another new entry, it's a revival of racing royalty. Geely plans to bring back the legendary Lotus name, a team that once redefined innovation and ruled the sport with 7 constructors and 6 drivers' championships. Now, decades after its fall, Lotus is preparing to rise again under new leadership, global vision, and serious financial muscle. What looked like a closed chapter in F1 history might just become the beginning of its boldest new era. Now, after decades of silence, the historic name is being revived not as a nostalgic branding exercise, but as the face of a new empire. Under Geely's ownership since 2017, Lotus has transformed from a boutique British sports car maker into a global performance brand backed by billions in investment and cutting-edge EV development. With Geely's technical muscle, global reach, and a joint powertrain venture with Renault, this isn't a hopeful outsider knocking on the door. This is a heavyweight demanding a seat at the table. And in a sport that thrives on legacy, drama, and disruption, Geely's move could deliver all three. The return of Lotus might not just reshape the grid, it could redefine the future of Formula One itself. The landscape around Formula One's long-debated 12th team is shifting rapidly. What began as quiet background discussions have now escalated into serious negotiations with a major automotive powerhouse. All signs point to China, the world's largest car market, making a bold entry into Formula One. In a significant development, FIA President Mohammed Ben Sulayem has revealed that both the FIA and Formula One management are now aligned on approving a 12th team, marking a major shift from the political gridlock that derailed Andretti and Cadillac's application. That effort had the FIA's early support, but Formula One management only joined later, reportedly after pressure from the US Justice Department and looming threats of billion-dollar fines for anti-competitive behavior. This time, the approach is more unified and focused. Speaking with unusual clarity, Ben Sulayem confirmed, a Chinese team has stepped forward, and discussions with Lotus are well underway. Once we reach the final phase of talks, I have no doubt that Formula One management will support the entry. It makes complete business sense. We do not need more races, we need the right teams, and this is exactly the kind of team that brings long-term value to the sport. Few names in Formula One carry the weight and heritage of Lotus. Founded in 1952 by engineering genius Colin Chapman, Lotus was never just a racing team, it was a movement. Known for groundbreaking innovation and fearless design philosophy, Lotus transformed Formula One in ways that still echo today. From pioneering the monocoque chassis to introducing ground effect aerodynamics, they were always on the frontier of performance and design. For a golden stretch, their brilliance translated directly into success on track. The team made its F1 debut in 1958 and by the mid-1960s had climbed to the top of the sport. Their first drivers' championship came in 1963 with the legendary Jim Clark. Over the following decades, Lotus became a dominant force, winning 7 constructors' championships and 6 drivers' championships. Legendary names like Graham Hill, Emerson Fittipaldi, and Mario Andretti all tasted championship glory with Lotus. In total, the team collected 79 Grand Prix victories, securing its place among Formula One's elite. But, as with many innovators, stability proved elusive. After Chapman's sudden death in 1982, the team's fortunes declined. A mix of financial issues, management struggles, and difficulty adapting to the turbocharged era led to a slow fall from grace. Team Lotus made its final appearance in 1994 before disappearing from the grid. The Lotus name returned sporadically during the 2000s and early 2010s, though often in branding rather than spirit. Confusing legal battles erupted when 2 separate entities used the Lotus name, Team Lotus and Lotus Renault GP, blurring the legacy and causing tension within the paddock. Eventually, the effort that raced between 2010 and 2015, though competitive at times, was more a marketing revival than a true continuation of Chapman's vision. That team eventually reverted to Renault ownership. So how did Lotus find its way back into the Formula One conversation? The turning point came in 2017 when Chinese automotive giant Geely Holding Group acquired a majority stake in Group Lotus, the road car division. This acquisition changed everything. Geely brought not only deep pockets, but a global mindset and an ambitious roadmap for Lotus. Billions were invested into research and development. Production expanded across the UK and China. And most importantly, Lotus was no longer a niche British brand. It was reborn as a global luxury performance mark, aimed squarely at competing with the likes of Porsche and Ferrari. Under Geely's stewardship, Lotus launched into the electric future with a clear identity and serious technological muscle. Their joint venture with Renault, known as Horse Powertrains, gave them the engineering depth required to build competitive, high-performance engines for multiple automotive brands. This growing technical capability, combined with global reach and financial stability, now positions Lotus as a compelling candidate for rejoining the Formula One grid. This time, the stars may finally be aligning. With the FIA openly backing the bid, Formula One management reportedly supportive, and Geely's vast resources behind it, Lotus is no longer just a name from history. It is a force preparing to return to the future of motorsport. And this comeback may not just be about nostalgia. It could very well mark the rise of a modern racing empire built on heritage, innovation, and global ambition. China, despite being more than twice the size of the North American market, has yet to establish a presence in Formula One. Viewer numbers remain far below those of the United States. However, as the recent Apple bid shows, even a modest slice of China's massive population could unlock enormous value through long-term television deals worth billions. The earlier position held by Formula One management, that a new team would not bring sufficient value, as argued against the Andretti bid, appears to be losing ground. Liberty Media is now reportedly urging Apple to raise its annual offer to $180 million, a sign that the commercial landscape is rapidly shifting. Ben Sulayem has hinted that the time will come when we feel it right to open an expression of interest, echoing the move he made independently early in the 2023 season that led to the Andretti bid. However, bringing a new Formula One team to the grid is far from a quick process, as the Andretti Cadillac effort has shown. Even with significant momentum and resources, the most optimistic timeline for their debut is towards the end of this decade. That said, a pivotal change could soon reshape the playing field. The proposed return to V8 engines, now under serious discussion, could slash costs for teams by nearly half compared to the current spending on complex hybrid power units. China's dominance in the global automotive market adds another compelling layer to the story. With annual sales exceeding 30 million vehicles, China outpaces the United States, Japan, and India combined. It is within this context that reports have surfaced about Geely emerging as a strong candidate for Formula One. The company holds a global footprint and strategic investments in brands such as Lotus, Renault, and Volvo, making it a natural fit for the sport's growing international focus. So far, Liberty Media has not responded publicly to the FIA president's latest push for a 12th team. Yet Ben Sulayem's bold claim that he now speaks on behalf of Formula One management could spark friction, especially given the often strained relationship between the two bodies. If his statement is not grounded in mutual agreement, it risks becoming a major flashpoint between the sport's governing and commercial arms. Lotus is no longer a memory, it is once again a movement. Only this time, it is backed by one of the world's most powerful automotive giants. Geely's bid is not just about filling a spot on the grid, it is about rewriting what a modern F1 team can be. With heritage in one hand and cutting-edge technology in the other, this is not nostalgia, it is a new era wrapped in old colours. And as Formula One stands on the edge of yet another transformation, the question is no longer if Lotus will return. The only question now is when, and just how much disruption they are about to unleash. Is reviving the Lotus name enough to bring back its former glory, or has Formula One evolved too far beyond its roots? Let us know in the comments. Until next time, goodbye for now.